Born in Ontario.
Hi, Carla from Mexico.
Welcome, welcome from Mexico. We are still letting people in. Make sure you send out that last message to some people in your team. We are going to get everybody on, and we want those numbers up because we want to be able to record. How fun is that?
60% of the way.
Okay, keep her going, keep her going. Send out your last messages, send out the link. Let people know we want them on. We want them on live. I know if you actually look at the numbers of these calls, we do have thousands of people that watch them on the recordings. So we know we've got those numbers, but it's also fun to have people on live. It's also fun to have people seeing people. I know others are doing stuff and they're out driving, but it's always fun just to get people on live where you get to see their faces. So if you're on, turn on your camera, say a hello, and let's hear where we're going to take 1 minute quick to say where you're calling in from. So let's hear all the different countries that are calling in. Where are you calling in from?
Washington State, USA.
Hey, Washington.
Guitar from Denmark.
And
Norway.
Denmark. Norway. Those numbers up.
San Diego, California, Carlo. Nice to see you.
Hey, hey, Stuart.
Nice to
Hey,
see you.
San Diego.
Orange County, California.
California.
Hello from Sweden.
And Sweden in the house.
Ontario, Canada.
Canada.
The Netherlands.
And the Netherlands.
Minnesota, USA.
Oh,
Bristol.
Bristol.
Newcastle, England.
England.
Florida.
Florida in the house.
Hello from Australia.
And Australia. Hey, it's getting late over there.
Texas,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. And I heard Texas back there.
Northern Michigan, Renata from Gaylord.
Hey, Renata.
London.
And London. Welcome, welcome.
Hello
From Finland.
And Finland. I heard that.
Joe from Michigan.
Hey, Michigan.
We need 24 more.
Okay, send out your last message to your team. Here they come. Couple more coming in. Keep her going. It makes it fun. Makes it fun. Wonderful. Okay. We're going to push that record when we get going here. We know they're coming. We know they're coming. Okay. So
from my point of view, Carla, you can record.
you got it. You got it. Well, I'm gonna then. And the last are coming on. We know it. Okay. Here we go. Recording is in progress and looking forward to this Zoom so much. Okay. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Here we are. Excited to see everybody on here. It is always fun to see our Zinzino family. There's just something about the Zinzino family, the Zinzino spirit, doing things together. And actually had to mute everybody because otherwise we'll get that background noise. But you know, we are super excited when we are also in the high season of Zinzino. This is always the month. Now, this will be 15 years this month that I have started Zinzino. I was one of those people who started in November when everybody wanted to get, their business rolling. And so I know that this is a time to be contacting people because in my 15 years, when you're looking, November is always one of the months that are the biggest months ever. So what is it that when people come in some people are having success? And what is it that you need to do to be getting success? We're going to talk about key success tips today, 6 of them, and not just from anybody, but from the first moment I met him. He hadn't, he was just around a diamond the first time I heard an interview that he had with the founder. and he was talking, and I was just in awe of the type of person he was. And I was thinking, okay, he's going to have this success because of, he's probably had experience, because you could just tell all the things that he was saying was just so clever. And he's so much younger than me. I was thinking, really? How does he know this? And then I did this interview with him, finding out, no, he had no experience. He was just building this. He was also a teacher, which was I was, and he was just rocking this. And that's when I became the student, and I was like, okay, I need to learn from him. Not only has he built a huge, massive business, but he builds with such integrity and such heart. And this year became our Zinzino prestigious award of the Heart of Zinzino. And not only that, he probably has a title that I think is one of the most special titles, and that is he became a father this year also. So, but get your pens and papers ready, because you'll want to hear every word of this. So, hey, let's bring him on here. Our Black Ambassador, that title, which we're proud of, but I know you've got other things headed to the next level. Michael Stüttler. Hey, Michael, it is so good to have you on here. So proud that you're taking the time in your busy November to be on here. Hey, Michael.
Hello, guys. Hello, Carla. Thanks for inviting me, and super cool to be here back again. I think the last time I was here is like a year ago or something, or even more.
Yeah, I could tell that because I had to switch the Saturday to Wednesday, because now the meetings are always on these Wednesdays instead of Saturdays. It just worked out better for me. But so it has been a while, and you rocked it last time. And I think your call had one of the top numbers of views, because you can always see the statistics. And when you have 3,000 and 4,000, and these are just partner calls, right? In the Team Zinzino North America group is all partners and just partners. So we know that so many people have been learning from the knowledge that you've got. And I don't know where you got all that. I know you have an amazing upline, but you guys are growing with a huge momentum. And just to give people an idea, would you tell how many customers and partners are in your team, what your T-balance is?
Right now, we have 6,500 active partners and 44,000 customers ordering every month.
I respect, my darling. Okay, so we need to get this knowledge from you, and I know this is your precious time too. But you talked about the 6 keys, the things that you have learned. What are those 6 keys that we could all be learning to be having the most momentum?
Super happy to share that. I also share that, of course, with my team. And if you ask 100 different leaders, I think you will get 100 different answers. And those are just my answers and from mentors I had online. So it's not like 100% for maybe for you, but it's my point of view, and maybe you can take some, maybe you can take all, maybe you can none. That's up to you, but it's just my point of view that's super important to pronounce here. And Carla, we have something else in common. I also started in November.
See?
Funny.
Something about this November. So many people are doing that. And by the way, I just want you to know that we did pass our 100 on live. So everybody powerful. Thanks everybody for doing that. Now let's learn. Okay.
Super. Then
We
let's
both
go.
started in November. This is such an important month. There's a reason that so many people start in November. We have to just know, what is it that we need to learn to do that.
Super cool. I will share that in a second. I just want to let you know, because many people don't know how I got started, because they said, hey, maybe he has had experience, but it was not that way. Like Carla said, I was a teacher, and I felt like "Wow, there's something more. And teaching in South America and teaching in Cambodia is different than teaching in Austria. In Austria, all the kids, they have a smartphone. And if you take it away, they grab the pocket and take another one. So it's not that fun teaching in Austria than teaching in Koh Rong, an island in Cambodia, or south of Lima. So I felt like teaching is nice, but I need something different. And then I tried to do my own online fitness program. But then I realized, hey, I'm a teacher, not a salesman. So I could not sell it. And then I got this Instagram message. Hey, Michael, amazing profile. Hey, you should check out this amazing opportunity, omega-3, blah, 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 test-based. And I went there in September 2020. I went there to see that. And I was there and I said, pooh, sounds interesting, but I don't think that's something for me. But this network marketing thing was interesting for me. But I said, no, not right now. Thanks. It's not for me. 2 weeks later, I started in another company. I started in, it's an Austrian company. It's called Ringana. I don't know if you know it. It's like selling a shampoo. And I was bold back then. Okay. And and it was because the license was, I don't know, 20 euros. And then I jumped into Ringana because I don't have to pay 1,000 euros. So it was like that. And then they wanted to sell me shampoo for 60 euros and toothpaste and omega-3 for 90 and stuff like this. And after 2 weeks, I realized, oh no, network marketing, that's nothing for me. And I quit after 2 weeks in this company without any customer or any partner. And then I tried again to sell my fitness program, and this Cincino thing was always in my mind. And then in November 2020, so 2 months later after the presentation, I called the guy who invited me, this cold contact from Instagram. I called him and I told him, hey, I thought about it and I think I'm gonna start. What was the biggest package again? And then it was silent. And he said, I already quit. I said, what? I said, yeah, I quit, but I can pass you to the guy who did the presentation. I said, all right, then pass me. Then he passed me around. Fabian was the guy, you know him, Carla, did the presentation. Fabian Sierhut, maybe some guys of you know him. But he did not have time. And then they sent me to his little brother, Benjamin. And then I was sitting in this Zoom with Benjamin. It was super cringe. And then I said, hey, I want to start here. What's the biggest package? And then I started. And Clemens, the guy who invited me, he had like, I don't know, I think like 20 or 30,000 credits banking on his strong leg. And on his weak leg, he had no partners. And they placed me in his weak leg. So I was placed in the inside leg of an inactive guy. That was my starting position, but I had no clue back then, fortunately. But today I'm happy because nobody ever sponsored under me. Nobody, I had not this upline like most of you guys have, a sponsor who really is your sponsor. So I had like
that's an important thing too, Michael, because a lot of people are thinking, okay, what did you get? How did you get there? Did you get a better position? Did you get something?
No.
And you I mean, I also have been my team's strong leg, so I've never had anybody sponsored into my team. And I'm also very happy with that because you had to build yourself. And we should be not expecting upline to be doing things, just be grateful if there is something that rolls down.
100%. And today I'm happy because I really had to learn the skills, and it took like 6 months to hit silver for me. So many people start here. I signed up a partner end of October. Today she hit platinum. Now they hit platinum in 2 or 3 weeks in my team. But for me, it took like 6 months to hit silver. Because it was, for me, it was really, really tough. And we did not have education. They said, come send out videos to your 500 Facebook friends. 2 weeks later, I only had 300 Facebook friends. 200. Then I said, all right, okay, no more friends here. Let's go to Instagram. Yeah. So it was a really tough build. But today I'm so happy because I realized it's not the money, it's not like the recognition, it's not like all that kind of stuff you think at the beginning it is. It's looking in the mirror and being proud of yourself. And the money, the recognition, all that kind of blingle and blangle, that's nice, but it's the side effect. The main effect is that you look in the mirror 100% honest, 100% naked, and you can proudly talk to yourself and say, hey, I'm proud of you. Well, I'm happy what I'm seeing. I like this guy. And that's the most important. And if that's the case, the money, the recognition, the big team, the big numbers, all of that will follow, because otherwise you would not see it.
But you know,
Other way around.
said something too, though, that you said it took 6 months and you still hadn't had any success because you were just getting to the silver mark. A lot of people give up in that amount of time, or they feel, okay, now I can't do this, or there's something wrong with me. I've had way too many people that quit after 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and they don't give it that time to be working on themselves. But now you're saying if people just accept where they're at and accept themselves to move forward.
Yeah. And it's much better to have it that way than the other way around. I know so many people in Sensina, Carla, you as well, who have a rank, I wouldn't say who don't deserve it, but who did not do it by their own, who had get some help, let's call it that way, an active sponsor, whatever. And they get a rank and people think they have the rank, but I know they look in the mirror and they are not happy at all. They have the money, they have the recognition, but always the scarcity. If something happens, if something got taken away from them, they don't have the ability to rebuild. They always feel insecure. They always feel like this risk. And for us, you can take away everything if you want. Give me 2 years, I rebuild it bigger than it is today, because I have the skills, I have the confidence, and that's how I live my life today. I never in scarcity, always in abundance. That's why if you have a position like I had or Carla had, be proud of it, be happy of it, pay the price, learn the skills, go ahead. And you will never ever have the conversation with a partner, oh, but my upline doesn't sponsor under me and I don't get help. You can say, hey, the best thing what can happen to you. So, but also the other way around, if you have help, of course, take it, but don't take it for granted. Super, my friends. That's the way to start here. And now we are going to could talk longer about my story, but I think that's not that interesting. How the first 6 months.
It is really interesting. I think it's the stories that really sell, and yours is really powerful because so many people, we're having so many people hit these higher titles, and they're coming from a lot of the other companies because you can't put your chapter 3 to their chapter 30. They've been doing this for many years from a lot of these different companies. And I think I've noticed in my team, some of them are kind of discouraged by it because they're like, look at all these titles that they're doing them so quickly and everything. But like you said, we're at chapter 3. We need to start and learn a lot of things, but a lot of personal development, learn about yourself, love yourself, and know that you can build this is number 1. You can learn the skills.
100%. And always have in mind, the guys who come into Zinsino with experience, they already paid the price in the years before. They did not get it as a present. They also had to pay the price. They did not pay the price in Zinsino, correct, but they paid the price before. So your past defines your start in Zinsino, but not your future. They come in with experience, with their team, yes, correct, but if they don't work their ass off, they will not get duplication. And you overpass them like that. So don't get worried about that. Be proud. That's a sign of proof, because just imagine, we don't expect that, it's never going to happen. But if you have, and those guys already learned the skills, did all this kind of stuff, and now they had to change because, I don't know, their company got sold or the founders died or whatever, and now they came to Zinsino, and now they show they have the skills. That's why they have quick success. So if you have the skills once in network marketing, you can rebuild and rebuild and rebuild and rebuild. So for me, that's like a proof, and I really, really like it. Many people who come into Zinzino, really nice guys, really cool guys. Otherwise, Orion and Hilde would not let them in. So I'm super happy that so great leaders joining us.
Absolutely. And I'm thrilled with all these leaders because they really have, Zinzino has made sure that they have that culture. Because Zinzino has a special culture of family and how they build and really building with heart. And even though we were both teachers and we're saying, okay, we kind of left the teaching professions and here we are. Here we are teaching, both of us. And so, but in this sense, if we get this duplication going, it can be an income that we can pass on to our families and our children and my grandchildren. I know you're having kids, I'm having grandkids over here. So
Wow. Yeah,
Oh,
no, that's amazing what opportunity we have right now here. But I know how it is. If those guys come in and they have the quick success, it's also for us inspirational to see how are guys doing it without experience with Zinzino, their first network marketing company. Like I did it, for example, maybe like you do it. And the beginning for guys like us, it's tough. And then they told me, all right, you should do presentations every Monday, 7 p.m. And I started to invite it. That was my only job. After the weekends, I worked as a waiter. I did school workshops. I tried to sell my online fitness program, and I tried to do like this Zinzino thing, 1 or 2 hours per night. And then I started to do invitations Monday, 7 p.m. I did the business presentations, and I invited all week long. Then I was sitting in front of this laptop. I had like this slide in front of me. I wearing my 40 euro H&M suit. I already had 10 years, suited up, sweating and waiting. And I remember how it was yesterday, sitting there, nobody attending. You know this feeling? You invite and invite. They tell you, yeah, we are coming, and then they don't come. Ever experienced that?
mm-hmm.
Oof. And then you can make the decision. Like I told this story very often, but it's so powerful for me. You can make the decision. Do you leave the Zoom, push the red button, or are you going to do the presentation? And I did the presentation, recorded it, watched afterwards. How can I get better from slide to slide? Send it to some guys. Hey, can you watch it? Double speed. Can you give me some feedback? Next week again, invited all week long, tried to get better, get some input. I was really obsessed. I was obsessed in getting better in making leads and inviting. And then I watched videos how to get a better presenter. And every Monday night I did the presentation again, inviting. How many attended? Nobody. Did the presentation from week to week. And then in March, something crucial happened. And after that story, we're gonna start with the 6 keys. But March 2021, I will never ever forget that. My list was empty. My Facebook friends were gone. Just kidding. They're not going if you invite them. Just kidding. And then I had this one name on the list. Robin. Robin was the guy, the coolest guy in school, the guy who was successful. This one name on the list, I always overjumped. You have that kind of name on your list? That was Robin for me. I never invited him. I always had like prejudged. I said, no, it's not nothing for Robin. Already successful. It's not cool. He probably think it's a pyramid scheme and all like these negative thoughts. And then hearing like inspirational stuff, and I said, all right, Robin. I did a voice. And I said, hey, Robin, had to think about you for the last 4 days. And I'm so excited. I started an online business and we are expanding and we are looking for, how should I say, goal getter types. And I was thinking about my contacts and you are on place number 1. You're the most successful guy I know. And I think you could go skyrocket here. And do you have 30 minutes? Take a look. It's the hottest thing out there. Everybody wants to join. I really want your feedback. I just sent out that. Afterwards, I put the hand away, the smartphone, and I said, all right, fuck, what did I just do? And I waited, and like 5 minutes later, I get a thumbs up. And he said, all right. And then, all right, it was Monday night. Okay, invited like all week again, and then it's Monday night, 7 p.m. Lights, perfect light, blue behind, suited up, super nervous, sweaty, and then I can camera, and then you see popping it up, Robin. And I said, okay, Robin is coming. And then I waited like 1 minute passed, and then I let him enter. And then it was like this awkward situation where it's like 10 seconds silent, but it seemed like a minute. And then I said, hi, Robin. And he said, hi, Michael. And it was silent, didn't know what to say because it was the first time somebody was attending. And then I waited, like it felt like 5 minutes. It was so cringe. And then he said, where are the others? And I said, probably they are coming soon. Let's wait a minute. And then we waited like until, I don't know, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. And it was like this awkward, he had like this little small talk, but it was so cringe. And then he said, nobody came, of course. And then he said, hey, Michael, I think this could get embarrassing right now. Should I just leave? I was sitting there, super insecure back then. I had 4 customers. To my father, to my mother, to hit Q team. The other fastest that did not hit. Nobody wanted to buy something or start. So I had no experience. I was super insecure. And then this successful guy asked me this question, and I said, yeah, just leave. He left. I was sitting there, the big screen, just seeing myself, and I fall like a sack. And I looked at myself, and I was disgusted. I was disgusted. I said, what kind of loser am I? Was sitting there like 20 minutes. My girlfriend passed by, and she said, come on, just leave it. Let's have a glass of wine. And it's okay, Michael, you tried. But I did the presentation because it doesn't matter what you are doing when everybody is watching. Now it's easy to perform. Now we are almost 120 people. Now it's easy to perform at your best level. But what are you doing when nobody's watching? What are you doing in the darkest moments? What are you doing when it hurts the most? What you do in this moment defines where you are going. Because in this moments, you sharpen your character. In this moment, you really pay the price, and this will pay back weeks or months later. And 2 months later, I signed up my first partners, my first customers. We did a end of April. I hit silver, and then in May we did a run. In May I hit platinum. Sasha hit executive. We both qualified for an incentive. And 6 months later, I was a crown, 5 figures. Before that, I never earned more than 1,800 euros. Never. And 6 months after this cringe situation, I was a crown. I said, come on, guys, are you serious? Because in these 6 months, I paid the price, I learned the skills, I did it over and over and over and over again, and I did not stop. In these 6 months, I also learned 6 keys to excellence, not only in these 6 months, also afterwards. And the next 20 minutes, Carla, if you want, I could share those. Maybe you can take something from it and implement it, or maybe it's just inspirational, or maybe you think, all right, crazy guy, but I will not try it. That's okay. It's just my point of view. Is that okay?
You got it. That was a powerful story of doing the things when other people can't see it. What are you doing behind closed doors? Absolutely love that. That's one
100.
reason you're the hardest Encino, dear.
Hey, Carla, that's why you passed me the prize, because you had it the last year. Another thing in common.
Another thing in common. Another thing in common.
Super. 6 keys to success. Can you see the screen right now, Carla?
Perfect. Yep. We see it fine.
Super. 6 keys, my friends. I'm going to share with you, and I'm super excited always when I can share it, because for me it's super powerful. The first thing is really super boring super basic, work hard. And most people think they work hard, but actually they don't. And working hard is not sexy. Working hard is not like what all the people tell you. They say, no, you don't have to work hard, you just have to work smart. I don't agree. Especially at the beginning, you have to work your ass off. You have to work hard. And how do you find out if you work hard? You need to track it. If you don't track it, you will not know if you really work hard. And I surround myself with hard workers. For example, Marco Passanante, elite president. I don't know anybody doing as many meetings as he does. Does he has to do it? Earns like 80 to 100K every month, still doing the most meetings. Or in my case, in a run like this, I have like, I would say between 20 and 25 Zoom calls every single day. Every single day. So super important to understand, the harder I work, the luckier I get. It's not happening by reading books. It's not happening by attending Zoom calls or doing a few invitations. You only learn the skills by putting in the work. It's if you bring a team and if you bring experience, nice. Then you have a benefit. But if you don't have that, like I had, you have to put in the work. And the more you do, the more you will get. And everybody is telling you something different. That's my point of view. So I always had this mindset. Okay, they are better than me. They have more experience than me. They are smarter than me, but they cannot outwork me. If I outwork them, I will surpass them. So that was like what I can control. I can control what I do. It doesn't matter what my team partners are doing. I can track and control what I do. And if I open 10 conversations a day, what was my number? Opening 10 conversations a day. Well, what we are doing, finding a customer, finding a partner, sharing the story. 10 a day. Second day, 10 a day. Third day, 10 a day. You will feel at the fourth day, if you do it, the guys from the first or 2 days, they need some follow-up. And your calendar gets fuller and fuller and packeder, and it gets difficult to do this 10 a day. Just imagine in a 90-day run, you do 10 a day. You open 900 conversations. If you just sign up 10 of those, you sign up like 90 personal partners in 90 days. Show me one person in Zinzino who ever did that. That was inspiring for me to do stuff in Zinzino nobody did before me. To do something crazy once, you always can share the story. So that's super crucial for me, really to understand, hey, working hard is essential. And that's rule or key number 1 for me. Key number 2 is mindset. Because everything starts here. It doesn't matter what you say, it matters what you think while you say it. If you talk to a prospect and you want to sign him up because you get 450 credits and then you hit gold, and you don't say that, but you think that, the person will feel it. They always feel it. So really start to think, hey, how can I really help this person, and how is this person in the center? With real, honest compliments, with really thinking, how can I help this person? So the right mindset is super important. That's one thing. Really, what you think while you do the activity. Because what you think gets a reality. Always. You create everything twice, first in your mind, then in reality. So what you think is crucial. So really pay attention what you think while you do the activity. First thing. And the second thing is, we are entrepreneurs. So problems, challenges are going to appear. Network marketing is simple. Why is it simple? Because we do 2 things. We sign up customers, we sign up partners. It's simple. It's just explain that to an entrepreneur to a traditional entrepreneur, just imagine everybody in your organization is signing up customers and signing up partners. Your business will explode. It's simple, but it's not easy. Why? Because challenges, problems, people are involved. So the right mindset with handling these challenges, these problems is crucial. My mindset for that is everything is no problem. For example, I remember, Carla, maybe you remember it. When they launched the vitamin D test and the Sinusshine. They launched the product, and I think 2 weeks later in November, it was sold out. Remember? And most teams were like, oh shit, how was this calculation of Cinzino? And they have a vitamin D test and a vitamin D project in November, and then it sold out after 2 weeks. Come on, guys, can that be true? And everybody was like disappointed. And we had like the mindset, hey, everything is no problem. How can we turn that to our benefit? And we told the people, hey, just launched a vitamin D test, the Sinusshine. It's the hottest thing on the market. We're sold out after 2 weeks because everybody needs it. If you want to get one, come on the pre-order list. Mid of December, they're gonna ship again. Make sure. So, and we launched that in the team, and we had like a pre-order list of 500 or 600 people. Back then the team was not that big. This was in 2022, and then December hit, and then we had a really strong December, and took that into January. And in January we had the next rank up, just because we thought, hey, everything is no problem. And we had a Zoom. We invited a special guest, and we forgot to upgrade, so only 100 people fit in the Zoom. And everybody fighted us. Hey, you had a special guest, that people did not come in, and all like this negative thing. And we could say, hey, sorry, yeah, it's our mistake. But we said again, hey, everything is no problem. We reframed it. We said, hey, we are at the beginning. We have Zoom calls bigger than we expect. And if you want to be in that calls, come in 5 minutes earlier. We cannot tell you that you get a space afterwards. So be there 5 minutes earlier, and that get our culture. Today, when we open a Zoom, 5 minutes before, there are 300 or 400 people in waiting because they don't know after 500 if they still get a place. So we get like this culture. Be on point. If you're 1 minute late, probably the possibility is high that it cannot enter. So we really got like this going just because once they did not get in. So we reframed it because we said everything is no problem. And it doesn't matter what's happening. Always have like this in mind. Doesn't matter what's happening. Everything is no problem. Give it to me. I handle it. And with that mindset, you will go ahead. So that's super important to have the right mindset as well. And many people then say, yeah, but like a little negative, but I don't know if it works, and like only 1% is successful here, and stuff like this. Again, just think how many percent are successful in sports? How many young boys or ladies play soccer, and who get really successful here? 0.001%. How many people want to get a Hollywood star and taking acting classes? 0.001. How many people are going to get a musician? How many people are going to get a CEO of a company like Amazon? It's like 0.00 something. So there is no space at the top. But in network marketing, there is space. It's like a pyramid, but turned around. You start as a CEO. You start as a CEO from your own business, everything in your own hand, and you can go on the top. And on the top, there's no place for one CEO. You can overpass everybody in your upline. I almost overpassed everybody in my upline because it's not fixed. If you do more, you can overpass everybody. in September, sorry, September, 2 months ago, I was credits balanced in Zinsino number 6. There were only 5 people in whole Zinsino who had more credits balanced credits than I had. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter how you start. It only matters, hey, are you keep going and you can overpass everybody if you have the right mindset. And if I check my back office of 6,500 active partners, I see that 1,600 are silvers and above. So it's like 25% or almost 30% who are earning 200 or 300 euros every month. For most people, that's the difference between only existing and living. 3,000 euros a year, that's an extra holiday. And they start because of that. We have like over 130 people who are diamonds and above who say, hey, they started this business in their spare time from home. Today they quit their job and they do full time. That high percentage of people really making it, in no other profession, in no other business, you will find that high numbers. So with the right mindset in network marketing, there are also no limits. So always think about, doesn't matter what's happening, everything is no problem. The third thing, what really helped me is consistency. Consistency is key. I'm not the best. I'm not the best in anything. I'm not the best in sponsoring. I'm not the best in recruiting. I'm not the best in explaining the product. I'm not the best in explaining the business. I'm not the best in talking. English is not my mother tongue. I'm not the best in anything, but I'm good in the most things. And I'm consistent. I talked to a guy when I started, and I asked him, how many partners do you sponsor a month? And he told me he's doing 2 a month, but that every year. And that led to an organization of, I don't know, 100,000 customers. And I said, what, crazy, just 2 a month. Can I do that? Okay, what do I have to do to get to 2 a month? And I started to track. And I bought this clicker from Amazon, 249. And I started to track. And I know exactly what I have to do to get 2 partners. And from the moment it made click, so after 6 months in the business, to the rank of ambassador, it took me 2.5 years. I sponsored 2 every month. I never did more, but I never did less. I sponsored 2. And this 2 a month led to 6,500 partners. And these 6,500 partners are producing 44,000 customers who are ordering every month. And just calculate 44,000 customers times 8 for RCB, how many credits coming in passively. And then check in the compensation plan how much money that is. That's life-changing. Not only for you, for generations to come. And it only because I was consistent, knowing my number, putting in the work, and doing exactly that. So it's difficult. It's difficult. I tell you a real story now. It's difficult to do stuff what it's not your habit. For example, if it's not your habit to go to the gym, it's difficult for you to go to the gym. But if it's a habit, it's easy. For me, it's easy. When I'm traveling, I always check out, is in the hotel, is there a gym? Where is the next gym? Because it's important for me. Because it's a habit. But I have a lot of friends, for them it's not the habit, and for them it's difficult. And the same thing is here. If recruiting 2 a month, if it's a habit for you, it's easy. You just need to plan, have a week plan and to plan really, hey, 30 minutes a day, I do my leads. Always eat the frog first. Every morning, 8:30 to 9, I do my leads. Doesn't matter what's happening because I know then I have a full pipe. That's my habit. That's why it's easy. Then, now the real story. In December, Carla just said it, in December, I made a decision. I was already Black Ambassador then. And in a good month, as a black ambassador, I earned like 35,000 euros. And in a normal month, I earned like 25,000. That was the moment last December. And then I decided, hey, money is good. Getting president is important. But my vision was being super daddy. And that was always like the dream for me, being super daddy, being in a position where I can be super daddy. And I decided to stop recruiting for 10 months. I did not sponsor anybody for 10 months. My business exploded because I worked as less as never before. I had like 5 or 6, maybe 7 hours a week. In November, I do 7 hours Monday morning, and the last 10 months I did that in a whole week. My business exploded. We are growing 175% this year. Leaders are exploding, and I had the time of my life with just saw her back then, and I could really support my wife. And then in September, I decided, all right, now she's 9 months, and I want to go for the next ranks. I want to go ahead. I want to inspire. I also want, there is something more for me. I'm not here only to be super daddy. I really want to go ahead and to show what is possible. And I decided, all right, going back to recruiting mood. And the beginning was tough because it was not a habit anymore. And I really had to make my hands dirty. You really have to do the basic work. And I said, hey, I'm black ambassador. I'm earning like crazy. Why should I talk to this normal person? And thoughts like this are coming into your mind, and you really have to calm down yourself and say, hey, that's why I have to do it, because this person needs me. Somebody out there needs a somebody, and I can be this person for someone out there. And if I know I can be it, I have to do it. And I decided to restart. Now I signed up the last 6 weeks. I did more than the 3 years before, because now I'm super hungry because I had like 10 months vacation. And the last 6 weeks, I sponsored 9 partners personal. And out of these 9, we already duplicated 25. So now I have a new, fresh line going, really, really smacking it. Everything is on fire. And just because now, again, it's a habit. So if it's difficult for you to recruit, to sponsor, make it a habit. Never forget, consistency is key. Part number 4, it's the minimal disease. You will find everywhere people with the minimal disease. What's the minimal disease? People who are asking you, hey, what's the minimum I have to do? If people ask me that, I know, oh, this guy has the flu. That's the minimal disease. What do I mean with that? People start, if you recommend them to start with the UPK, and they tell you, no, what's the smallest package? I'm going to start with that, and let's check out and stuff like this. And I always thought, why it's so difficult to sell the UPK? It would be much easier to sell a smaller one. And then I started to sell the 500 euro package. And then I introduced that package, and they said, oh no, it's too expensive. You have a cheaper one? And then, yeah, of course, the basic one. And then I sold the basic kit. And then I showed them the basic kit in the next presentation. I said, wow, 320 euros. Do you have something cheaper? And I said, yeah, of course, the license is free. And then I introduced, hey, the license is free. And then they say stuff, okay, but they get my data then, right? Do I have to give my real name, or can I give a fantasy name? I said, people are always going to ask for less if they have the minimal disease. If you see people like this, you have to block immediately, say, hey, if you don't start with the biggest package, you starting with your handbrake. I cannot let you start with a smaller package. Always think, hey, not what's the minimum I can do, what's the maximum? Because if you ask for the minimum, you will get the minimum. If you ask for the maximum, you will get everything. Network marketing can give you everything if you want everything. Always have that in mind. You don't want to have the minimal disease. Point number 5, qualify for everything. That's so important. Even though if it's a backpack and you have 10 backpacks at home, you don't need this backpack. You are the guy going for this backpack, showing it in your Instagram story. Hey, I'm qualified. I have this backpack. There was an iPhone to win. All right, you can be 100% sure I'm the guy having this iPhone. There's a director trip. You can be 100% sure I'm on that director trip. There's an ambassador trip. You can be sure I'm on that ambassador trip. There's you can get a Mont Blanc pen. You can make sure I have this Mont Blanc pen. There is a bank up to rank up campaign with 200 credits. You can make sure I can show you my back office. I started November with 1,000 credits right side, 1,000 credit left side, and I showed it to my team because qualify for everything. You sign up to partner in November, then you get extra 1,000 credits. Can be 100% sure that I'm going to have that and show my team who is next. So if you want to be a leader, you need to have the mindset, qualify for everything. Always, every campaign, everything Zinzino offers you, because it's always beneficial for you. Qualify for everything. And then the last point, and we are done. I know it's a lot, but the last point is also the important one. Believe it. Because you're going to have two voices in your head. You can imagine on your shoulder, the voice who is telling, yeah, you can do that. And the voice who will tell you, no, you cannot do it. It's too difficult. There are always two voices. And which voice wins? The one you listen to. And you decide who you listen to. Henry Ford said, doesn't matter if you say you can or you can't, you're right either way. And to believe, you need to have the right people in your environment. You need to have the right conversations. But if it's difficult for you, like it was for me, I'm from a 2,500 people village. The people in my old friends, they just want to talk football, drinking beer and partying. So for me, it was difficult to get the right conversations there. So I had to find my mentors on YouTube, on Spotify, in books. And I was reading and listening and all that kind of stuff all the time, because I had to make sure I get positive input. I get positive input to believe really that I can do it and that I'm worth it. That's super difficult, super important, that you have the feeling, hey, I can do it and I deserve it. And the answer to this is massive action. If you follow these 6 things, my friends, you will achieve your dreams. And that moment here was a big one for me, because when I was traveling, when I was 20, I won a poker tournament and I was traveling around the world. And I was teaching always in little villages. And I had this dream to come back to Austria and to give something back. And I told everybody, hey, we could build a school, we could donate money and stuff. And they always laughed at me and said, hey, Michael, you're a teacher, you're a waiter. Do you think you can save the world? Do you think you're something better? Are you too lazy to work and stuff like this? But in my mind, this seed was planted. And I imagined this moment over and over and over again, how I'm going to be there, have a scissor in my hand, this red band, how I'm going to cut it, and how I will open a school. I had like this thinking chair, and I was sitting there and thinking about it and imagining, and it was so vivid for me. And over years, again and again and again and again, and then Zinzino came into my life, and Zinzino, with the tools in Zinzino, I could create the person who could make it happen. Not alone, but who could create the community, the team, when we could do it together. And then in September 2024, I could travel to India. And I was standing there with this scissor in my hand and this band, and they took videos, and a lot of kids running towards me, tears in their eyes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I was standing there. It took like 30 or 40 seconds, like an eternity. And I was standing there, it was shaking because this moment I already lived it and saw it so many times in my mind. And then I turned it into reality. And then I cut it, and it was like electricizing, and I could do the opening speech, and it was just crazy. It doesn't matter what your dream is, but Zinzino, network marketing is the tool to make all of this come true. If you're willing to pay the price, if you're willing to learn the skills, and if you're willing to go through these tough times, my friends, these are my 6 keys to success, Carla.
Absolutely love it, Michael. We're so grateful for you, but I also like what you said is the massive action, because right now is the time to be doing the massive action, and it really is the contact. And how do you know that you're not going to have the next you in your team, or even a referral? So keep asking for that and just get out there. And I think a lot of people are worried a little bit about like what people think or anything, but if you have a goal, a dream, and you're doing the action, the results will come, right?
100%. Because if you increase the number, your skills will get better. If your skills will get better, your percentage is getting better. When your percentage is getting better, you're getting results. If you get results, belief is rising. If you have belief, you get excited. If you are excited, excitement is the easiest thing to duplicate. Many people are excited. If many people are excited, you create momentum, and you're gonna have fireworks. In November, every single day, 35 people are starting in our team. Every single day in November, because we created this kind of momentum. But if you break it down from momentum, excitement, belief, results, percentage, skills, increasing the number. Increasing the number like crazy. People telling me, hey, Michael, you're looking tired. Slow down a little. And at the beginning, I always tried to justify and explain myself. Yeah, I'm doing this business and I really want to crush it. And I tried to explain why I look tired. If they tell me today I look tired, I tell them, I take off my glasses that they can see my eyes here. And I tell them, yeah, why are you not looking tired? Why are you not fighting for your dreams? Why are you satisfied with average? I don't want to be normal. If you're normal in Austria, you are overweight, you have 2 friends who don't really like you, you and your wife, you are divorced, you have a job you don't like, you're sick 5 times a year. I don't want to be normal. That's why I do stuff what is not normal to get extraordinary results. So if people tell me, hey, Michael, you look tired, thank you. I'm happy you recognize it. Why are you not fighting, man?
Mic drop. Boom. I love it. I love it. We're going to leave it with that. That was so powerful and inspiring. You can feel it in the bones. I'm going to let other people be off, unmute here. And Michael, I just want a quick thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. We're both ready for our next meetings, but let's make it November to remember. Thank you for your wisdom. Love you, Michael.
Crush it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Love
Thank
you.
you so much, Michael. Thank you,
Thank
Carla.
you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you so much,
you,
Michael. Have a blessed day, everybody.
Great call. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.